In this video, we're going to see bond, the different components of bond and its valuation. So here, the face value of the bond or par value of the bond, the value that the issuer will pay at maturity, that is what we call as face value. And the other one is your coupon rate. So there are two things associated, two interest rate associated with the bond. So one is the interest rate which the bond will mature at that interest rate, so that we call it as the interest rate of the bond. So that is always mentioned as R. But here there is another component called coupon rate. So if you buy a bond for 5 years, and for every year annually, if the bond is having a coupon rate annually, then annually, if the bond value is 1,000, imagine, so then annually you will be getting a 5% coupon rate, in the sense then there will be uh, a 50 rupee you will be getting as a coupon rate every year, coupon in that will be credited to you. So that is called as your coupon rate, which is annual interest rate paid on a bond expressed as a percentage of the bond's face value. So next one is your maturity date. So date when the bond's principal amount is due to be repaid to the bondholder. So when the bond is matures, right? So that is your maturity date. So there are three different types of bonds based on the maturity type date. One is your short term, another medium and long term bonds. So normally less than 1 year is called as short-term bonds, but there are some countries where even 1 to 3 years is considered as a short-term, and medium is 2 to 10 years, and long-term is 10 years and more. And here we have there are different credit rating. So when you are purchasing a bond, you have to see the factors: the coupon rate, the interest, the terms. I mean the maturity date of the bond, and above all, you have to see this credit rating. For each country, there is a credit rating agency that will be giving the credit rating for the bond. But for India, the credit rating will be given by ICRA. So this credit rating actually this is for short-term rating scale, and the next one we are going to see is the long-term and medium rating scale. But as of now, in India, medium rate bonds ratings are withdrawn from ICRA. So we will see here the short-term rates. A1 is strong. Here I have classified, the table contains three columns. One is the rating, the degree of safety, and the credit risk. So the rating here, A1, if it is rated as A1, if the bond is rated as A1, which means it has a strong degree of safety, which means the timely payment of the bond after the maturity is strong, so we can go for this bond. And the low credit risk also very low. And the A2 means again the degree of safety is strong and the credit risk is low. Actually A1 mentions strongest, and A3 is moderate, and the credit risk is higher compared to A1 and A2. And A4 is minimal. So it is minimal, the degree of safety is minimal, and the credit risk is high. Okay, so this is about the maturity, ICRA rating about the bond. And we have this long-term and short-term ratings for all types of bonds. There are different types and different things given. So just know the rating here. AAA rating, which is highest rating regarding the degree of safety and timeliness of payment. And the next one is your credit risk, which is the credit risk is very low here. And AA rating means high and the credit risk is low. And A rating means adequate and the credit risk is low. Triple B rating is moderate safety and the credit risk is moderate. And BB means moderate risk of default and moderate credit risk. And B means high degree of safety and credit risk is high. And C means a high degree of safety of timeliness of payment and credit risk is high. Present value and discounting. So the next one we are going to see about bond. There are different concepts we should know before we get into the valuation of bonds. Present value and discounting of bonds. So which means the concept of determining the value of future cash flows in today's terms. So this is how we are evaluating the bond. The value of the bond will be measured on this concept only. So what is the future today's I mean in today's terms, we are going to calculate the value of future cash flows. So this is your present value. And the next one important to bond is yield to maturity. If we are holding the bond till the date of its maturity, so because bonds can also be tradable, right? So some many of the people, they don't hold the bond, they once buy and they can trade it or sell it to other people. But if they are holding it for the period of maturity, till the period of maturity, then what is the return they're going to get from this bond? That is what we calculate through YTM. For each and every one of this, we have formulas. We're going to study all those things in detail. Now the next one is your price codes. So price codes is majority of the stock bond holders, the bond issuers, they quote the price of the bond as a percentage of the par value. If it is selling at par, in the sense, if the bond is selling at par, if they are selling, the bond is selling at par, means 100% of the par value, means the bond value, face value. For example, the bond is the bond's face value is 1000 and is selling at par, means it is selling at 1000 rupee. And if for another example, if a bond with a face value of 10,000 and quoted at 81 by 8, in the sense, then it would be selling at 81 by 8%, in the sense, then how are we going to calculate? So this is how it will be calculated. So listen it carefully. First we will see what is 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is most of the bonds, it is not actually as a percentage as 60%, 50%. It will be a one half, one third, fourth, eighth. Likewise, the bonds will be quoted. The bonds price will be quoted. So first we will see what is 1 by 8%. So 1 by 8% is, or 1 by 8 of 100 is 1.25. So we have to know this one first. So 1.25 first, then 81 by 8, in the sense, first let me calculate the 80% of 10,000. So 80% of 10,000 is 8,000. Then I'm going to calculate 1 by 8% of 10,000. So 1 by 8% of 10,000 is 12.5. So 1 by 8% of 1 by 800, 1 by 8 of the 100th of 10,000 is 12.5%. So which is going to give me 88,012.5 as the bonds price quote. So now I can sell, or I can quote the bond at, so the bond face value is 8,000 and I'm going to sell it at 81 by 8. This is the quote I'm giving for it. Then the price value of the bond is 8,012.5. And another one is your fractions. So why we have fractions? So in the retail market, there many of the time the bonds are actually the price of the bonds are some crores. So it is not easy for the common man or the retail investors to buy the bonds in a large quantity. So they ask in small quantities. So for them, the bonds can be given in fractions. So usually the bonds can be given in thirds, eighths. The price of the bonds can be given in eighths, 1/4, 1/12, half, or 64th. So for example, on a 100 basis, point 100 basis, $100 basis, a half point is, if a point 100 basis, you're going to give a point 100 basis point from a bond, you're going to give only a point 100 basis. Then a half point is 0.50 and 1 by 32 point is 0.03125. So example I'll give you. So 100, the face value of a bond is 100 and the price quote is 97.4 by 32. So here this is actually an example for price quote. So the fraction we will see in the future videos. So 97% of 100 is equal to 97. So 4 by 32% of 100 is equal to, again, 1 by 8% of 100 we are going to calculate, which is 0.125. Therefore the price quote is 97.125. And the next one is we can also the fractions. This is relevant to the fractions. So sometimes 64th, we said the bonds can be given in 64th, the price codes or the fractions. It can be given in 64th, which means this 64th are sometimes denoted with a plus sign. So here 100.2 plus indicates 100 2 by 64th, 100.2 points, which means 100 and point 0.2 we can given as 2 by 6, 2 plus we can given as 2 by 64. So now we are going to calculate the bond value. So how the bond value is calculated? So it is calculated like this. Sigma t varies from value of the bond, right? So we v0b, which is equal to sigma varies t varies from 1 to m and cft divided by, and what is cft? I'll explain you. So cft, coupon rate into the face value, divided by 1 plus r the whole power t. So here we can write it as cf1 divided by 1 plus r the whole power 1, c into f2. So coupon rate into face value in the first year, coupon rate into face value in the second year, till last year we are going to write, and 1 plus r the whole power 1, 1 plus r the whole power 2, likewise we are going to write. So assume the bond makes fixed coupon payments each year and principal at maturity. So each year the bond is going to make fixed coupon payments. So the same coupon payment is going to make, and it is the principal, the same principal value is going to be at maturity. So what is the formula? So then we can write the formula like sigma t varies from 1 to m, c divided by 1 plus r the whole power t plus f divided by 1 plus r the whole power m. So where c is the annual coupon and f is the principal. It is not the coupon rate, actually it is annual coupon, which means for example 10,000 is the face value and 10% is the coupon rate, right? Then what is the coupon? So here we have 100 as the coupon value is 100, right? So this is how it is calculated. And now v naught b is equal to there is this formula can further be breakdown and derived. This formula can further be derived as c into 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus r the whole power m divided by r plus f into 1 plus r the whole power m. So this is the formula. I have I'm going to show you in some two examples so that it will be easy for you to understand. Example, there's a 10-year 9% the maturity of the bond is 10 year and it's a 9% annual coupon bond, 9% of par with face value of $1,000, and its required rate of return is 10%. So first we have to identify what are the factors we have here. So just see this side. So the coupon is 9%. So 9% of 1,000, the face value is 1,000, right? So 9% of 1,000 is 90 and our required rate of return is 10. So 10%, I have to return that as a percentage. So 10%, and f is actually in the problem I have written it as 10. It is actually 0.10. So let me correct it now. 0.10. Okay, let me proceed with this. So actually R is 10% and F is 1,000, M is 10 year. So now we are going to calculate. So C, substitute the values. C, instead of C write 90, 1 minus 1 by 1 plus R. So 1 plus 0.10 the power. M is the period to maturity. So here it is an annual bond. So M period to maturity is 10 years. So it is 10. So divided by 0.10 plus 1,000. The face value of the bond is 1,000 divided by 1 plus 0.10 the whole power 10. So this will give you 938.55. This is the value of the bond. And now one more thing. So now we are going to calculate another question. So a coupon bond pays annual interest of 15%, which matures in 12 years and has yield to maturity of 12%. Considering the par value is 1,000, the current yield on the bond is close to. So what is the current yield of the bond? So V0B is equal to 1 minus 1 by 1 plus R the whole power M divided by R plus F by 1 plus R the whole power M. The same formula we have written here. So now the coupon C is equal to 15% of the face value of the bond. the par value is 1000. So 150%, 150 coupon is 150, and R is here we have maturity of 12%, yield to maturity of YTM they have given. So it is yield to maturity of 12%. So it is 0.12, and we have face value 1000, and the maturity is 12 years. So considering the par value is 1000, the current yield on the bond, it is actually we have to understand, they have asked for the current yield on the bond. The yield on the bond is what is the current percentage on the bond, what is the current yield percentage on the bond. So first to calculate this, first we have to calculate the value of the bond, and there is one more step we have to go ahead for calculating this current yield on the bond. So value of the bond, the same formula we are going to use here, C into 1 minus 1 by 1 plus R the whole power m divided by R plus F divided by 1 plus R the whole power m. So C is 150, 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus R is 0.12 divided the whole power m is 12 years, and divided by R return percentage is 0.12, plus the face value is 1000 divided by 1 plus 0.12 R the whole power 12, the maturity. So here we are getting 1185.63 as the amount. So the value of the current value of the bond is the bond the par value of the bond is 1000, and the current value of the bond is 1185.63. So what we have to identify here, the current yield on the bond. So the bond is going to give us 15%. It's a annual interest of 15%, it says, right? So the current yield on the bond is pays annually, so that percent we have to get. So 15% of 1 current yield is what is the coupon percentage we have to calculate, right? So 15% of 1185.83 is so 150, 15 into 1185.83 in divided by, so we will get this 150 divided by 1185, so the answer is 12.66. So this is how we calculate